Bolts head coach Brooke Ewan-Dixon. Coach, thanks for taking some time out from practice to join us this morning.
No problem.
Let's talk about that game yesterday, and it was, maybe not, let's put it this way, it was a little closer than the final score would indicate. It was a one-run game pretty late, and then your Bolts explode to pad that lead later on. It was really the bottom of the lineup that delivered for you yesterday, and when you talk about a team producing on offense, you love to talk about the 3, 4, 5 hitters, but the bottom of that lineup, very crucial in that victory yesterday over Cherokee.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with the fact the bottom of the lineup did their job. We work really well with each other. I really, teach them that any given day, you can't rely on the same people all the time. And, the bottom really came through yesterday, really strong, and I commended them for that.
Brittany Rivera with a home run, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that's her second career home run, not known as a power hitter, certainly a great hitter for you, but how much of a boost was that? And that came a little bit earlier on, as I think at the time it made it 2-0.
Correct. That's just great. The day before she had gotten hit in the chest during a game. It took her down. We were even unsure as to how sore she was going to be in the game for yesterday. And, like I said, I commended her for that. It is her second career home run, and she's been doing well for us. And I think that confidence and the confidence that they have in each other at this point is definitely showing.
Of course, in the middle of that lineup is Kayla Smith, really emerging as one of the state's best players. Hard to believe she's still only a junior, but she's a girl that picked up her 100th career hit for you this year. I think she's the all-time leader in school home runs there, and another productive day yesterday. How nice as a coach is it to have that big bat in the middle of the lineup? And then the second part of that question, how nice is it to know that bat will be back for another year?
Obviously, it's great for us. Kayla hit one off the fence yesterday. It hit right in the middle. I thought for sure it was going over. She does have the career home runs. I know that my girls, and Kayla included, they all are going to put the ball in play. And with the strong power that Kayla has, putting that ball in play, it makes it very tough for the fielders to make that play on her. So it's great, knowing that she's doing as well as she is, and that we do have her back again.
Group 4, South Jersey Group 4, it's tough. There's really no one-sided games usually. That game you got yesterday from Cherokee, again, final score 5-1, probably a little bit closer than that final score would indicate. Is that what you expected going in when you're talking about the South Jersey Group 4 playoffs?
Absolutely. One thing that I told them going in is honestly, Egg Harbor has been the toughest team we've played recently. The last team we've played in that was really dominant was Washington Township when we played in the Hamilton tournament. And not having that competition, I told them, today's a team that is going to put the ball in play. They're going to make the routine play, so we have to execute everything. And putting the ball in play became crucial, where the center fielder, lost the ball in the sun, and we came through and kept running through, and we scored a couple runs on that miscue.
Yeah, miscue from Cherokee there. I know there was one on your side earlier in the game where there was a situation, I think, down the first base line, and it turned out that the ball, by the time it hit, bounced foul, but then Cherokee does get a run after that. I guess as a coach, you like the teaching moment, but you don't like it in a playoff game, right?
Absolutely not. And that's what I was saying with the fact of, we haven't had a whole lot of teams that we've been facing lately that have been putting the ball in play consistently, and make, we have to execute, because if not, they're gonna produce on those errors on our part. That's basically what we're focusing on practice today, is getting back to that routine of communication and making sure somebody takes that control, and knowing that somebody has it. There's a call and an answer for every single play that we do.
Checking in right now with Millville softball coach Brooke Ewan-Dixon. Of course, the Thunderbolts on to the second round in South Jersey Group 4 with a victory over Cherokee yesterday, 5-1. Brooke, if I'm not mistaken, what's that, 12 wins in a row for you guys now?
Yeah, it has been.
Teams love to go hot into the playoffs, and I guess that's the definition of hot, 12 in a row. As a coach, do you sort of have to safeguard against overconfidence? Everything's clicking right now. Or is it one of those deals where you sort of back off and, they got that swagger going, the players, and you just let them do their thing?
The one thing that I always emphasize with them and teaching them is the fact that there's a difference between playing confident and playing cocky. And you can definitely tell when kids that come in and other teams that we play end up, that they're having that cocky, persona. And then with us, I constantly, try to reinforce the fact that you can't play cocky. You have to play confident, and there's truly a difference. And honestly, our girls have been playing great together. We are a pretty young team, and the fact that they've been executing that and doing that and backing each other up, and when one person's not making the play or hitting the ball, somebody else is stepping up, and yesterday was a perfect example of that.
You are a young team, and we talked about some of the young bats, but we haven't talked about the pitching yet, and it's coming from a senior, and Alexa Calariso. Am I pronouncing it that right? Calariso. And,
Yep.
Let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, it wasn't necessarily her job to start the season. I know you kind of were looking at maybe a younger player there, and it's one of those situations where the senior stepped up, Alexa, and she's been taking the ball in really most of the big games here, certainly as the season's going on and now in the playoffs. How impressed have you been with her play?
I am truly impressed. And being in a season when we had all of our scrimmages and things, I was pitching both freshman and Lex, and in between the two of them, they're pretty equal. They had some different strengths to each other, and I was looking to possibly rotating them during the season or pitching both of them during the game to throw timing off. However, Lex, she came in, had pitched great and has the confidence. And I'll be honest, starting from day one of practice till now, she's a different kid. I think that whole mentality of, throwing hard every single pitch and playing that game that, knowing that she's got to hit her spots and knowing that she has a defense behind her, it definitely makes her, a much stronger player. And I can't express the fact that she's pitching way above and beyond the expectations that I had in the preseason.
Kayla Smith, really the bat that a lot of people know in the middle of that lineup, but another really clutch hitter that's emerged for you this season, Katie Mae Makos, and I know you plug her in right in the middle of that lineup too. How impressed have you been with her play? Another one of those players that can swing for the fences when you need her to, but always seems to make solid contact, whether it's moving a runner over, or just seems to be one of those girls that's always trying to do the right thing at the plate.
Katie Mae, I think she does get overlooked a lot with Kayla being, such a stud player. She is also, Katie Mae and Kayla are both dominant players. Katie Mae is leading the team in hits. She's leading the team in batting average. She hits the ball hard. She's a very strong kid, and she makes things happen. I'm truly impressed with the way she's playing, the leadership that she's showing on the field. When she's getting up to the bat and doing what she has to do. Like I said, she's definitely, her and Kay are on the same page, and to have both of them next to each other and be such dominant players and have confidence in each other and feed off each other is definitely great to have. And they're only both of them are only juniors.
Which is nice for you. Now, of course, Millville on to the next round. You're still waiting, I believe, to see who you're going to play. It'll be Kingsway or Williamstown. Is that correct?
Correct. I think both schools, had their prom last evening, so they're playing this morning, I believe. Okay,
and, you don't like to push a team on before it wins, but Kingsway certainly one of the dominant teams in South Jersey Group 4, and, hopefully Williamstown will give them a game, and so we'll wait to see who emerges out of that one. But the question would be, I guess, either way, you're getting a tough team in that second round, whether it's a powerhouse in Kingsway or a Williamstown team that's able to take down a powerhouse in Kingsway. So, what do you talk to the girls about in terms of going into this next round matchup?
Just like any game that we play, they have to go out and play and do the fundamentals, basic routine things, and calling the ball and hitting the ball, putting the ball in play, and making it happen. Like yesterday, we didn't have any strikeouts, and that's the key thing is, I always tell them that you have to make things happen, and it did. To have the confidence and not be cocky, and just play every game and know that if you make an error, it's part of the game. Get back on it, get the next play, or if you strike out the next time you get up to bat, make sure you do something with it. Just know that. Move on to the next play. You can't hold on to it. It's part of the game. It's what happens, and have that confidence and get in that box and have the confidence when you get up to bat and make it happen.
We'll ask you one last question, then we'll let you get back to practice. And it's a question I've asked a number of coaches this morning, and I'll pose it to you. How much fun is it to coach this time of year? This is what you play for. You play for the playoffs. But your level of fun, is it more fun for you coaching your girls this time of year, or does the pressure start to creep in a little bit?
I think that at any time this time of year, it is the pressure because once you lose, you're done. But at the same time, I try to tell them, and I have the same mentality as every single game is you have to think it as it's this game. You can't think forward. You can't think ahead. You have to play in that moment and play in that game. And whatever you do in that game is going to, make you or break you to move on. So you just go out, give it your 110%, give it your all. And if you can say that you've left everything on that field, then that's the best you can do.
All right, Millville again, 5-1 winner over Cherokee. Yesterday, the Thunderbolts move on to the South Jersey Group 4 quarterfinals. They await the winner of Kingsway and Williamstown. Head coach Brooke, Ewan-Dixon, thanks for taking the time out of practice, and good luck to you and your girls in the next round.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Again, Brooke Ewan-Dixon, head coach of the Millville Thunderbolts.